Dolph, when you watch late night TV now, or when you did in the past, who has been your favorite over the years?
Actually, the only person I ever watched was David Letterman.
Really?
I can't tolerate who's on right now. It's just all smoke and mirrors, in my opinion. David Letterman, he did so many kooky things, and it was just a really enjoyable show to watch.
I would say Carson, number one for me. I very much enjoyed Letterman, too. And 4 years after retiring from his late night TV show, David Letterman told Ellen DeGeneres that he wishes he'd actually left sooner.
I stayed on television way too long.
That's not true.
Yes, it is true. And I'll tell you what happened. It turns out nobody had the guts to fire me. And I should have left like 10 years ago. You want to make sure you have some energy to direct toward other things. I did not. All I cared about was myself. And then the show was gone, and so I had to realize, I've been looking through the wrong end of the telescope. There is more to life.
So, Dolph, when you are helping clients in and around Charlotte, when they stop working, do they sometimes regret having missed out on some of the important things because they were too focused on work?
Too many times, unfortunately. I mean, Letterman, he's a straight shooter. Yes, he was a comedian and a talk show host, but I mean, if you listen to him, he's genuine. And a gentleman I just know, Mr. Lee, and he was with this company for 37 years. And here in Charlotte, he traveled a lot, divorced several years ago, and then became widowed, 2 children, and 66 years old now. And he's been a client of mine since 2009. We had him set to retire in 2014. 2014 came around. He's like, I'm just going to work until they fire me or until I'm just bored. And I was like, well, why are you working? He just didn't want to quit. And he was like, just kept on going. And well, finally 2 months ago, Lee got the phone call from the company, hey, we're getting bought out and we're letting you go. Here's your severance and so forth. Lee came into me and we sat down. He says, Dolph, we're okay. I said, yeah, if you're looking for this much income, we have this much. He was planning on $6,000. We have about $9,000 guaranteed lifetime income set up for him.
Okay.
And he looked and he's been playing golf every day except for when the rain and heck, it snowed this week, for God's sakes. And been traveling, seeing his kids. He went on his first cruise. And he looked at me and he came in last week and said, Dolph, why didn't I do this 4 or 5 years ago when we had this originally set up? And he said, why did I continue work? God, how much things I've missed. Now I'm 66, 67 years old, and I put it behind me. And it's like, well, you got to live forward now. We all look in the past, and I always tell clients, work because you want to, not because you have to. Mm-hmm. And life is too short. I mean, you look back into years. I mean, we're in 2019, for God's sakes. It's unreal. You just think yesterday was 2000, and then you think about high school and all these other things. Time is just going by. Enjoy today. If you have the income set up, you get to enjoy today, and you're not going to regret tomorrow. And I look at my brother who's a doctor in New York. He's 55 years old, and we talk sparingly. And he was like, he was envious like that I take time every once to be with the family. He's like, man, I'm regretting the fact that my son is now going into high school and we didn't travel enough. And he's like, I go, we can't change it, but you can move forward now. And he's like, you're right. I think it's time for us to take at least 2 family trips a year going forward. And if you budget properly and you do things correctly, you can enjoy that time, because one thing in life you can't take away is a memory.
That's right. You really can't. And if you have things taken care of, a retirement income plan in place that you can feel confident in, you can retire on your own terms so that you can create those memories sooner. Yes, obviously you have to have saved for retirement and done all those things in those working years, but when it comes time to retire, when you're closer to it or already there, you should know where you stand so you know your options. You know you can leave on your own terms when you're ready. That's the key. Make those memories. Make sure you've got time for those. You've got choices. That Where Do I Stand plan can help you get there. It's a second opinion of your entire retirement. It involves you sitting down with Dolph for about an hour, getting to know each other, asking the questions you've been wondering about, and Dolph asking you about some of your numbers, and then taking that information, and he and his team spending quite a few hours customizing a retirement income plan for you, looking at RMDs, looking at inflation, doing a detailed analysis of your risk tolerance, all of your Social Security benefit options, what's the best for you and your family, possible health care and long-term care costs, how you're going to cover those. Dolph will help you find out if you have the right retirement income plan to fit your lifestyle on your terms. 704-919-0149. That's 704-919-0149. Call now in between the end of today's show, speak to a team member off the air, and they'll set up that Where Do I Stand plan complimentary.